saw the title, you know what's happening. I rug burned my hand on the car roof. So what's happening here is that I have 3 16-year-old geriatric cats who I take back and forth with me between Wisconsin and Maine every year. And I want to dedicate the back of the car, the entire trunk, to the 3 cats for the entire car ride back from Maine to Wisconsin without sacrificing space for the 2 boys in the back. By about this much. I have PEX cutters. I just don't know who took them. Or I'd go find them. All right. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Come on, come on. Ah, got it. Whew. Oh, shoot. Now it's too short. That's fine. Is it though? Is it fine? Why is it so hot? Noodles. Whew. Ow, ow, why? What is the best way to do this? There is no best way to do this. This is stupid. Why is it sticky? Yeah, no, there's no best way to do this. This is dumb. Like the soccer mom mafia. Ah. The scissors are so far away. I'm a zip-tie walrus. A zip-tolerous. It's so stupid. Stop it. Stop it. No. Ugh. I should have gotten longer zip ties, but zip ties are expensive. Have you tried to buy zip ties lately? Oh my goodness, they're just barely long enough. I would love to tell you what the plan is, but I obviously don't have one. Alright, that will work. That will work. That will work. If I keep saying it, it'll be true. That will work. Alright. Benjamin's headrest is too tall. Is there another pair of pliers with the snippers? Or a pair of scissors I don't care about? I care about all scissors. Every scissors deserves a chance. Ow, 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 ow. Rude. Ow. Alright, I have to figure out a way to get the blue pipe to stay up high. Which probably means, that I need to drill a hole in the blue pipe and wire it to the seat locks. What did I do with the wire? Did I throw it away? Ooh. Bleh. When I let go, does it hold? It does hold! Yay! Ah. Sitting in my car. It's supposed to be. Ow! It came right through. I'm learning, sort of. Yay, it's working! Thank the universe. There is so much junk in the way and at my feet. Ow, 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 ow. I need my fingers. Oh, where's those pliers? Why does my shoe feel weird? Oh, they're so far away. In the car, out of the car. Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, I can easily say this is the most I've ever been in the trunk of this car in one day because I've honestly never been in the trunk of this car before. That went on way easier than I thought it was going to. I don't know where the scissors are anymore. I would say I'm doing this so that I don't scratch up the back of my car, but I don't care about the back of my car because this car is really old and I love it and I have no intentions of ever letting anybody else drive it or take it or own it, really. I'm going to drive it into the dust and then I'm going to have it compacted and worn as jewelry. In any case, I'm not doing this so that I don't scratch the back of my car. I'm doing this because the sound of this kind of thing rubbing against this kind of thing and or the glass over the course of the trip would make what's left of my teeth hurt. Sweet! It seems weird to me that this is the first part in this process where I'm actively measuring the back of the car in any way, shape, or form. 46 inches. Alright, I'm not going to be able to get the actual size board in one piece. She says, immediately trying again. No, definitely not. So I need to take the back corner off of each of these pieces, and normally I would use my bandsaw, except my bandsaw sort of exploded. And the blade's not broken, but it's also not something I feel comfortable putting back on the bandsaw right away, so it's not going to happen. So I'm either going to jig it, or I will just take probably that on the chop. So that'll be one side. Yep, that'll work. It needs 22-inch legs. She said. I've already messed up. The back corner of the car comes in. This leg can't be here. I want to say that's why I'm not gluing stuff, but really it's just because I'm lazy. Lazy. I will win this game. This game I will win. Since cars are symmetrical. What? Why? Really? many legs did I take off? 3. I took off 3 legs. That's why there's 3 screws in my mouth. The highest level of stupidity, not the highest level of execution. Sweet. I need to get a taller tripod. I've been driving around with this for a couple days now, and it's very annoying to not be able to pass things over the top of the back of my car. But I have some plans for how I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to finish it today. Because I have to finish it today because we have to drive away tomorrow. So, these center 2 sticks that are legs are not actually touching the ground, so now I'm wondering, do I need them at all? I'm not sure that I do. None of my cats are particularly heavy anymore. So I'm thinking if I take at least these ones out. Ooh. Nope. This guy right here. If I take these 2 out, that at least gives me room for the litter box on that side. I think. Oh, so close. So there's the litter box. And then I've got this mat. You guys can't see the mat, can you? Because I'm busy working way too close. It's hard, guys. Yeah, that's better so far. I'm gonna leave these 2, even though they're not technically touching the ground, in case my cats do turn out to be heavier than I think they are. And in case we hit any hard bumps or anything and they, I don't know, bump it down into the ground. I think I have these leftover stair treads. I think the stair treads can go here. And then I kind of want something for them to jump down on. And then I would like to make a platform in here for this baby, for whoever, because there'll be, I'm thinking, 1 cat over here in this corner, 1 cat over here in this corner, and then they can all sleep up there. All 3 cats can be up top for all I care. I dropped a screw on the ground and I don't do that because I drive over this. There it is. All 3 can be up here for all I care, but I want to give them space to get away from each other, since even though they're nice to each other, they don't typically co-sleep. Turns out the back of a car is way more hard to film, way more difficult to film than I ever thought it would be. Benjamin, where'd you go? 19 and a half in the very, very back. 17 and a half by about 22 deep. 19 and a half, 17 and a half, 22. Oh, yes, okay. Phew. No, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried. Oh, does the door close? It does. It does. I made these almost 20 years ago. Well, no, it can't be 20 years ago, because I made this for one of the cats I have now that I inherited when my mom died. So this blanket must be about 16 years old. Watch me staple it to a cat carrier. No. These staples aren't long enough. They're long enough to go through 1 layer. 1 layer and that's it. That's not going anywhere. That's kind of not going anywhere. I'll put a door right here. Yep, I'll put a door right there. So I can access from the inside, so I don't have to open the whole back. I don't know where Benjamin went. They're not fat cats, but they're not thin cats either. 8 by 8 on the inside. If you want somebody to say Gesundheit, bless you, you have to be in the same room as them. Blast off. Mazel tov. Mazel tov, sweetheart. Come here. What are you doing? That's for cats. Hi. said that I wanted about an 8-inch interior. We are not pre-measuring any of, obviously. Obviously, here is the inside of that guy. I want it to go this way. Benjamin! Banana! So I bought a new camera at some point this summer, and apparently I don't know how to use it because between that last clip and this one, I apparently turned the camera into slow motion recording with no sound. And being as busy as I am with the new baby and traveling back and forth and all the other ridiculous things I put on my plate, I have been filming every video in slow motion for the last month. And now that I'm finally getting around to editing these videos, I'm realizing that every single clip I have is in slow motion with no sound. A lot of the videos I filmed I'm going to scrap, but this one was just too much fun and too unique for me. So I guess for the rest of the video you're stuck with voiceover editing Denny, and that's okay because the sound quality is probably better with a dedicated microphone than with not. So I made this tiny door into the chicken wire so that I wouldn't have to open and close the back of the car every time I wanted to get cats in or out. If I had to get cats in or out, I could just open the little door in the front and pass them through it. And that seemed to be a pretty good idea. I set it in line with the chicken wire, which made it crooked, and in the end case, it just gives it more personality probably, right? Here's the litter box. I've got my laundry detergent in the back there. I was doing laundry. And this is right before we go home to start loading the car up and putting all of the everything on top because there's not going to be a room inside the car at all. And I did end up putting a piece of blue tape over that little latch because it clickety, clickety, clackety, clackety all the way home. Those caterpillars were everywhere this summer. Everywhere. We don't touch them if we can help it. They make you really itchy. But these are the 3 beds and space for all of the food dishes and everything in the bottom right there. Here, the car has been fully loaded. You can see the National Lampoon situation happening on top. We have the litter box, and the dedicated little water dish is a Tupperware with a hole cut in the top so the water doesn't splash out. And Benjamin is so ready to go that he kept getting in the car, and he forced me to load all 3 cats over the top of him without moving. Here's Lily. She is my smart cat. I always load the smartest cat first. There's always been a loading order for cats in my history. I've had a lot of cats over my life, and if you don't load them in the right order, it becomes much more difficult to load them. After you load the smartest cat, that's when you go and get the cat that is dumb but really friendly and easy to catch. That would be Charlie. She's great, but she's kind of a really not a bright cat. She's just very, very pleasant and very amenable towards being picked up and held and cuddled. And then normally you would load the skittish cat next, but my skittish cat passed away recently, as well as my older cat. So the last cat that I load is going to be the deaf cat, because the deaf cat literally has no idea what's happening. She's just in her own world. She's super sweet, but she can't hear at all, so. And again, Benjamin made me load each cat over the top of him because he was so ready to travel back to Wisconsin that he was not getting out of his chair at all, and that's just kind of life with Benjamin. You just kind of work around him. Here are all 3 cats loaded into the car. We're about to take off. There's Lox and Charlie up top. Lily has already discovered, she's my smart one, what's going on. She's done this several times over by now. She's already locked in for the ride, and then Lox and Charlie are doing their Lox and Charlie things. We had to stop at rest stops every 4 hours to fuel up the car, and that's how long the baby would generally go before he got hungry and needed to be fed. And the cats were great. They hung out just fine in the back. They'd already come to the conclusion that they weren't going to get out. They had food and water. Every time we'd stop, they'd get down underneath for their water. Every time we'd stop at a rest stop, people would see me walking around the car holding this baby, and then they'd be complimenting or commenting to my partner about how interesting the stuff strapped to the top and how it looked like, National Lampoon's Vacation or something. And it cracks me up because I don't think they realize that my partner would never, ever, ever commit to an adventure like this if I didn't start it. This is completely and totally my contraption. And I just thought it was funny that everybody just assumed it was going to be him that was doing that. And no, it's me. It's me all the way. We left Tuesday at noon and we got home Wednesday night, just about midnight, 1 o'clock. Taking the cats out was not a problem. I just opened the door and one cat presented itself. Here's Locks. And then closed the door behind her so they don't get out. Lily was the second one out. And then the third one out, of course, was Charlie. They're not allowed outside here in Wisconsin because we have a bald eagle that lives in the front yard and a whole family of foxes that lives halfway down the hill towards the lake. And I don't trust them not to be eagle food or fox food. They're about the right size. This is a couple of days after we had gotten back, and I was just getting sick of trying to put stuff in the back of the car and not having any space, so I decided that the cat portion of it needed to go. I did end up leaving the chicken wire up because it was just easier that way. If I need to put it back, it really was just 2 screws and then the whole contraption could be pulled out. Nothing was screwed to the car. It was all just pressure fitted to itself. And if I ever need to put it back, I know that I can pretty easily. Was it a pretty thing I made? No, it was not a pretty thing I made. But was it sufficient? It was way more than sufficient. It was so incredibly useful. It allowed me to focus on my autistic 7-year-old and my newborn. At the time, he was just under a month old when we traveled back. It allowed me to focus on the boys and not have to focus on the cats because the cats were going to lose out to the boys if they had to, and I didn't want them to suffer, so I took care of them in advance that way that they didn't have to suffer at all. But anyway, this was a great experience. I highly recommend you building a cat car carrier if you decide that you're that dedicated to your animals or that you have need of one, and I hope to see you again in the future on more ridiculous projects. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.